1 minute, folks. Start right on time here. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Andre Murphy, and I'm one of the Northern Directors for the Association of Manitoba Municipalities. I also have the privilege to be the Mayor of the Town of the Paw, and it's a true honor to serve you as your MC here for this important media event. On behalf of AMM, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of our delegates, our distinguished guests, and members of the media joining us here today. This media event actually marks the beginning of a real crucial conversation about two resolutions that will be presented and debated by our full membership tomorrow during the resolution sessions. Resolutions are an integral part of the work that we do. They allow us to address the key challenges faced by Manitoba municipalities and help set the stage for our advocacy efforts for the year ahead. The first resolution focused on the urgent need to enhance sharp collection efforts, co-sponsored by the Town of Swan River and the Town of the Paw. This resolution highlights the serious concerns about public safety as well as the safe distribution and disposal of hazardous materials. In the Paw, we've seen firsthand the challenges posed by discarded needles and sharps and their impact on community safety. Many of these needles are left on streets, playgrounds, and are creating a significant public safety risk due to the lack of provincial support and a coordinated approach to collection. Municipalities are already under considerable financial strain, and the added responsibility of managing discarded sharps has placed additional burdens on local governments. Without significant support and funding for safe disposal practices, towns like ours are being forced to shoulder that responsibility with the limited resources. And this is particularly problematic as municipal services such as policing, community cleanups, and staff time allocated for building and maintaining disposal systems are becoming increasingly strained. And this also diverts valuable resources from other critical priorities that municipalities would have. So this resolution is not just about addressing an issue, it's about protecting the well-being of all of our residents and ensuring public safety remains a top priority. My friend Mayor Jacobson will provide some further insights into this matter shortly. As well as we have a second resolution that calls for a comprehensive review of the municipal board's mandate and its functions. Supported by over 30 co-sponsored, this resolution highlights the widespread frustration regarding delays and inefficiencies. More importantly, it emphasizes the urgent need to restore respect for municipal autonomy. This is a call for a more effective process, and it truly prioritizes the interests of our communities. Now, to provide a deeper perspective on Sharp's collection resolution, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Mayor Lance Jacobson, who is the Mayor of the Town of Swan River.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Mayor Murphy, on this important topic that we need to discuss this morning and bring attention to all the province of Manitoba. Earlier this year, the town of Swan River was having more concerns of littered needles in and around our community. Council seeing a need to call for action. We learned from Prairie Mountain Health and Harm Reduction that they had distributed nearly 200,000 needles, and we were quite alarmed about this. Fast forward to now, we actually have heard and learned that it is over 500,000 needles. I said that right, 500,000 needles in a population of around 5,000 people. We support the town of DePaul with this resolution that will be coming to the fore this week. We need to see change. If this program of needle distribution continues, which in my opinion should not, we need to see a needle exchange program, which it actually began with years back. We need to see the distribution of retractable needles, but the biggest thing is a plan of rehabilitation for those individuals, which we just recently learned that there is no plan for rehabilitation. This is alarming, and we need to call for action. We need to see tougher penalties to drug dealers who are part of this as well. We learned that some of these needles that are distributed are actually handed back to the drug dealers and refilled with whatever they put in them and sold back to the addicts. The cost of this and crime that comes along it is quite alarming for all our communities, not just Swan River. We need to know what the cost of this to the province and our municipalities. We need to know the effectiveness or not of harm reduction and the distribution of needles and what it's doing to our province and our communities. And remember, the province has legislation on this. Manitoba Health and Safety Act, it's called. Health regulators must use safety engineered needles in healthcare settings, and in my opinion, in communities too. In the end, we need tougher penalties on drug dealers. We need to focus on safety in our communities and not just say it. I do want to, although, acknowledge, since our campaign from our community, that the province is listening. Minister Reeve, especially, I thank him, but we have a long, long ways to go. And we do encourage you all to speak with ministers and help each other in this cause. But we also need the federal government at the table to help our communities, not just the province. We deserve safer communities. This, in my opinion, cannot continue. Again, I thank you all for coming this morning, and I thank Mayor Murphy also for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Jacobson, for sharing Swan River's experience and highlighting the pressing need for this resolution. Next up, I would like to speak on a resolution addressing the municipal board's mandate and its function. I would like to welcome Mayor Larry Johannson from the City of Selkirk. Mayor Johannson.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Municipal governments face immense financial challenges. Every day, we work to deliver essential services without placing excessive burdens on property taxpayers. We constantly search for efficiencies and ways to reduce unnecessary costs, always mindful of the need to balance budgets responsibly. At the same time, we strive to grow our local economies and address the housing shortage that affects so many Manitobans. Achieving this often requires investment in infrastructure, which is supported through tools like the strategic use of debt, local improvement plans, and special services levies. However, these efforts are frequently delayed because municipalities must seek approval from the unelected municipal board, a process that is outdated and increasingly out of touch with modern needs. The municipal board was created in an era long before digital accounting systems, public access to online financial statements, and rigorous standards of today's public sector accounting. Municipalities have evolved significantly since then. Transparency and accountability in our financial management have never been stronger. Yet, while municipalities have modernized, the municipal board has not. It remains dependent on manual, antiquated processes that duplicate the work that we already do. This inefficiency is not the fault of the hardworking professionals at the municipal board. They do their best with a broken system. The problem lies in the structure. the outdated regulations, and the unnecessary layers of red tape that serve little purpose today. What's the result? Costly delays, redundant workloads, and wasted tax dollars. In Selkirk, we once missed an entire construction season due to a technicality in a municipal board decision. That delay ended up costing our taxpayers thousands more for a road resurfacing project. Other municipalities have faced even greater financial consequences, sometimes tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional interest charges. Why? Because the municipal board delays forced them to postpone projects while interest rates climbed. And all this for projects that elected officials have already approved, and they are proven to be financially feasible. These experiences are why Selkirk, along with dozens of municipalities across Manitoba, in one of the most co-sponsored resolution in AMM history, are calling on the provincial government to review the municipal board's mandate, role, and relevance. We must ensure it serves the needs of today's municipalities, rather than being an outdated system that no longer adds value. Municipalities like Selkirk manage infrastructure worth hundreds of millions of dollars. We provide safe drinking water to thousands and support critical regional facilities like hospitals. Yet under current legislation, we're required to seek municipal board approval for routine decisions, like entering into a lease agreement for photocopiers. This is not only inefficient, it's absurd. To make matters worse, Bill 37, which was introduced by the previous government, had added even more red tape. It has shifted decision-making authority away from elected councils, the people who know their communities best, and handed it to an unaccountable body, further delaying progress and driving up costs. We want to see our communities grow and prosper. We want to play our part in tackling the housing crisis and making life more affordable for Manitobans. To do this, we need processes that are efficient, modern, and fit for purpose, not bogged down by unnecessary delays and red tape. By working together to modernize these systems, we can unlock the potential of our municipalities, and we can create a better future for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your passion, Mayor Johannson, and for shining a light on these challenges that Selkirk has faced, as well as the importance of this resolution. Finally, I'd like to provide some additional insight. I would like to invite Reeve Christa Van Mitchell from the RM of Cartier to share her perspectives.
Dear colleagues and attendees, the RM of Cartier would like to provide a couple of discussion points that are relevant to a discussion regarding the municipal board. My municipality's comments are in the spirit of all efforts to collectively obtain as efficient and effective municipal service delivery and governments as possible. We strive, like many of you, to continuously improve in all aspects of our operations. We have improved our processes. We have increased our capability to respond in a more timely manner to operational tasks and responsibilities. We have invested in employee training and development. We have developed policies to assist with responsive service delivery. We have vastly improved our technology capabilities, and we have created a culture of accountability and positive forward momentum for all activities. If a partner or stakeholder or vendor has antiquated processes, policies, technology, or is not accountable for their actions or results, we would extricate ourselves from dealing with them, because when the gears of the municipal ecosystems no longer mesh or are no longer conducive to efficiency, effectiveness, accountability, or responsiveness, the engine of the economic development and forward momentum seizes. It is our belief that the municipal board is an antiquated entity that is forced upon all municipalities. Unfortunately, it has super judicial powers that enmesh into all our operational lives. We have had 2 recent and separate instances where couriered and registered packages that are required to be provided to the municipal board have never arrived. These packages were obviously misplaced or lost, despite signatures proving the date and delivery and the person accepting the delivery. I would be remiss not mentioning that these deadlines are often related to Bill 37's legislative requirements that have been foisted upon municipalities. Yes, there are problems and concerns with Bill 37, and there are obvious losses of efficiency and autonomy, plus increased costs associated with Bill 37. But the most troubling aspect is the lack of municipal autonomy and accountability that stems from the antiquated, obsolete, enshrined, bolstered role that the municipal board plays. While not every interaction with the municipal board is negative, I am sure that many of us have had numerous suboptimal experiences with the municipal board. The questions that we like to pose are, should the municipal board even exist? Would it be better if the extrajudicial reach granted the municipal board over the municipality's elected officials in Bill 37 be repealed in a new governance model that restores and respects municipal autonomy? Are your opinions in alignment with the above? Then lobby the provincial government to modernize and right-size the municipal board's role. Thank you, and I look forward to your discussions regarding on how to improve the current process, scope, and dynamic that the municipal board currently plays in all of our actions. Thank you.
Thank you, Reeve Van Mitchell, and many thanks to all of our speakers this morning for their valuable insights on these critical issues that are been brought forward to our convention. At this time, I would ask if any members of the media would have any questions for any of our speakers.
Mayor Johannson, please, if you don't mind. So the provincial government's probably going to reintroduce their bill to increase the threshold of signatures required, and then they'll say there's ongoing with their review of the municipal board. How do you feel about the fact they can make a snap decision to like, hey, let's get rid of Plan 2050 and the municipalities, but they're still studying and studying and studying this?
Well, I think it's going to come. I mean, 2050 didn't just get a review overnight. It took a long time. And it took entities like this fighting 2050. And I'm not a proponent of it, but I'm not against 2050 either. It's just not right for us. It wasn't right for the city of Selkirk. We want to be masters of our own destiny. We get a job review every 4 years. And if we're not doing the right thing, then they'll let us know. So 2050, it's probably good for a lot of other places, but not for this. So with the municipal board now, they have to take a look at this. And I don't think it needs a tune-up. I think it needs an overhaul. It have to come into the 21st century.
Okay, but I guess to put a finer point on it, they've been in power for a year. This is something the Pallister government did. They even a week before they flipped on 2050, former Minister Bush, he was like, no, it's great, it's awesome, it's going to be great. Don't worry about it. Why do you think they are taking so long to hear this relative unanimity from dozens of municipalities and hundreds of elected officials?
Oh, I agree, but it's not taking too long when they have a lot on their plate. And I understand that. It's an AMM conference like this where all of us are together. To be able for myself to come to the microphone right now and to speak towards it and to have our fellow mayors speak towards it also and have over 30 municipalities join us in the resolution, I think it brings volumes. And I think what they'll do is this is something that's going to happen, and what they're going to do is it's going to happen in the next session.
Okay, and I'll just ask this. To a Manitoban who hears the term municipal board and immediately starts falling asleep, what would you say, like 1 sentence, elevator pitch, why you want this fixed?
Because we don't want more delays with our projects. Leave it in our hands. We know our finances best, and we know what our citizens need best. And the other thing I'll say is when you delay any project for over a year, you're going to run into trouble. We had a street that was delayed. Beautiful part of town, we ripped it up. No, there was no businesses there, but we want to attract businesses. So we did our fiscal responsibility and we put the services in on that street underneath. We wanted to do that, and the municipal board says, whoa, 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 you can't do that project yet. We have to take a look at what you're doing underneath with those services. We didn't want to rip the street up after and redo it. And the municipal board took a year to get back to us. We lost a year in construction, we raised costs, and the interest rate went up. That's not right.
Mitchell, do you have a second here? Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, what do you think about the fact that it's effectively, thanks, I want to hear you. What do you think about the fact that it's taken this long after a government change for them to consider what you guys have been saying, even when Pallister was still around?
Well, we have other portfolios within the government that are very important, like health and that. So they're going through what is very most popular and going down. They're finally listening to us, and we need to be heard. These people from the municipal board are making decisions on a daily basis, and it doesn't affect them. They may not live in that municipality. So it's very important that our voice be heard.
You talked about the technology, and one of the things that I found amazing is that ordinary people can come and start cross-examining planning officials at these hearings.
Yeah.
It turns a, kangaroo court is a term that's been used.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just describe when you observe that kind of situation, what that means to you as an organization?
Well, we were a part of Plan 2050. That was the biggest kangaroo court there was. We did not have a lot of provincial support. So people coming and listening to this important event about, we don't want to lose our loss of autonomy. We want to make the decisions that are right for the ratepayer on a daily basis. We have that right, that respect. We earned that badge to sit at the table, and we're making the decisions that affect everyday residents.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah?
Just going off of what the reporter over here said, this is total inside baseball stuff you're talking about. The average resident won't
No,
sleep when you're talking
it's
about
true.
this. You're talking to people who are all on your side. How do you get the average Manitoban to actually get on your side to make this an issue that is high priority for this government to change? Because you're talking about healthcare being a top priority.
Yeah.
Municipal board is probably not even the top 10
Right.
priorities for Manitobans.
All we have, the point that we need to get across is we can make decisions that are best for our residents, not a board that's been removed, appointed, whatever. No disrespect to those officials that have been appointed, but when I tell a resident that the government isn't listening or they're making decisions that aren't going to affect them, I think the ratepayer will care.
Do you truly?
I do.
Mayor Johannson, would you agree with that?
Well, what I agree with my colleague is they elect us. Okay, we're elected officials. We hire the administration. And what we try to do is hire the best administration we can. And if we hang around long enough, that means that they've elected the best elected officials that they can. So they put their trust in us. They do not want to know every T that's crossed, every I that's dotted. They leave that in our hands. And so we go forward and we deal with lobby groups like AMM to bring our concerns forward. They trust us, and I think that's huge. If I had to guess, Chris, I'd say there's probably 80% that the residents don't really understand. But they trust us to understand it, and they trust us to act on it.
Okay, maybe one more question on something there, yeah.
Can you ask that question again, please? Well, for one thing, I can tell you right now that the harm reduction program that in Swan River, they have decided actually to stop needle distribution here in just the last few weeks. But public health now is actually delivering those needles And so we're still having alarming amounts of needle distribution and littering continuing on today. Is harm reduction been a failure? I would think that it certainly doesn't have a passing grade. I think that there's been a lot of things that they're trying to do, and there may be some successes with it. But when we talk about the transmitted diseases and all that they're trying to prevent, we're already seeing that there's a huge increases in AIDS and syphilis and other transmitted diseases in the province. So that tells me that it's not a success. There's definitely other factors with it, but